Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and today I'm here with Brad Metz, and this is going to be more of a public service announcement show than anything. Brad, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Um, a lot of people have heard rumors about the S.U.D, Bolivar Peninsula S.U.D, going to a mud district, and I can tell you there's a lot of research going on. You and I have talked about it. I've talked to some of the other board members about it. And the first thing that everyone has come to me about is panic. And I want to this is my opinion. We've grown down here a bunch.
Yes.
And how things were done 15, 20 years ago is different than how they're done now. And one of the biggest things is being able to get water to all available properties.
Right.
And with some changes the TCEQ, Texas Environmental Quality Control, more or less, has done, there's some areas that have to have water lines enlarged because it's all about size of how many homes they're providing water to, the diameter, so they can get the flow so that the water can stay fresh. With that being said, there are some properties down here that can't get water right now, but TCEQ has been working with the S.U.D, and I know Sheila's been real instrumental in working with them.
Very much so.
On getting lines replaced, getting an extension on when they need to be done so that the S.U.D can afford to have it put in and get everything up to par. And so with that being said, we can't look at the past. We're all building for the future and making sure that we have a quality water department. I can remember years and years and years ago, man, you didn't even drink the water and you showered in it and stuff. And so it's really improved. And I can tell you, working with them the little bit I have, they really care about a quality product to come to the homes here for restaurants and businesses and homeowners and visitors. So with that being said, I'll let you know I'm for a mud district.
Okay.
Because I think it will get us out of a problem area that we're in. But but I think there's some things that need to be covered, and we're going to be doing these shows at least monthly, keeping you updated. And before anyone says anything, I can tell you they have assured me that they're going to have a public town hall meeting, from my understanding, to talk about it. But there's a lot of research going in on how to form it and what it can do. And before we get going, let's talk about, y'all have some construction going on now.
Yes, sir. A lot of it.
And you are upgrading water lines. I think y'all did one down by Jose's a while back.
Yep.
And you'll see them, and it's usually a contractor doing it, right?
Yes, sir. It is a contracted.
You have some lines that are fixing to start.
Right.
What areas are those going to cover? Break out your notes.
I got my notes here. Okay, this is contract 4. This is number 4.
So you've already done 3. Okay.
Correct. Boyd Road North.
Okay.
And all the little streets all
back in Conakai and all that.
Severs Cove, the yacht base, and everything back in there. Kingston Beach and all the roads off there, which is off the loop.
108.
Off the loop. Waco, which is east of Rollover.
Okay.
Paisley, which is up near, I think it's in Canal City or next to it.
Okay.
Most of the Blue Water addition, which is Alma, Tinkle, South Jacks, and several others. And this is a moving target, actually, because we identify these roads as applications come in for that. And I can tell you that this contract right here for that was $1.8 million plus $315,000 for the engineering. So a little over $2 million to do those roads.
And how much does that leave you left that you've identified? Do you know that?
When this is done, we should have approximately 5 million left
Okay.
to go on to the next contract,
Okay.
which wherever we identify that.
Okay.
Now, also, we can do some of these upgrades ourselves,
Okay.
in-house, our field crew, where we're not boring under the highway and boring from side to side
Which
across
will
streets.
save money.
That will save money. And they've identified about a dozen roads, streets
Okay.
here that they can do ourselves in-house. Now, we got to buy the pipe, buy the valves, all of
Right.
that. And if there is any boring to be done,
That has to be contracted
that
out.
has to be outsourced.
Okay.
So we're being very fiscally responsible.
Right, right. And that you made a comment to me when we were meeting the other week that you've got a board member now that is really a
Yes, sir.
numbers person, and they're tracking every penny spent
Yep.
on every item and
Correct.
every project
Correct.
to know that nothing's getting lost here or moved over here and everything. So,
Correct.
let's get to the M.U.D district now. There's a lot of research going in, and you and I have talked, and from our understanding, the first board, it'll go to public town hall meeting where you talk about it. Actually, a M.U.D district does not have to be voted on by the public.
Correct.
They can just all of a sudden someday someone have a brain fart and say, let's vote on it. It could go through, but they're trying to be transparent and let the public know what's going on. Why is this good? Well, for me, from what I've been reading, you pay your water bill, and right now it's $90.
It's $70.30 is the base fee.
Okay, is the base fee. I know Chris and I don't go over a base fee, and we live here full time. That's not tax deductible. But from my understanding, when you go to a M.U.D district, it not only the people with homes here with water taps, but if you own property on Bolivar Peninsula, you're taxed on your property. So even if they don't have a water tap, they're still putting money into the M.U.D district.
Correct.
So when they go in and want to put a water tap there, we have the facilities to be able to provide that water. At some point, because that's a big change depending on what the tax is, from water bills to sales to the M.U.D tax. Could water bills go down at some point because the M.U.D tax, they don't need to have a $75, $80 water bill. They might be able to go down. Could water bills actually go down because of the M.U.D tax?
Absolutely. That is a very real possibility.
Okay. Will the M.U.D tax cover anything else? And when I say anything else, a lot of M.U.D districts, they supply sewer. They supply trash. With the M.U.D tax that y'all are doing, will this strictly be used for water infrastructure, meaning line replacement, line upgrades, pumps, tanks, anything to do to keep the water department in compliance and enlarge with the best products possible?
Yes, sir. Okay. Absolutely. It won't build sidewalks and parks and all of that.
Green belts. And that's what I was getting at, because several people came to me and said, man, David, they could, start building this and take money over here and use this. And if we're going to pay a M.U.D tax because the water department's in a bind, we want it to go to the water department.
Goes to the water district.
Okay. When the M.U.D district is formed, typically TCEQ, or Commissioner's Court, assigns the first 5 positions.
Correct.
And I'm saying this so that you can verify, because it's what we were reading, then after that, the public votes on a rotational
Right.
vote on new board members for the MUD district.
Right, and I believe it's 4 years.
It was either 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
whenever I was reading
Yeah.
it. And they'll make up all the policies. The MUD district, the new board makes up all the policies and rules and regulations
Correct.
for that MUD district. Now, you brought something up that I hadn't read and didn't know about, and you said, do you realize that the city of Galveston and Texas City
Correct.
have to approve
Yeah.
the MUD district?
Yeah, they're involved. They're involved with it also.
And I asked why, and you said because you joined. Now, does
Yeah.
anything in Chambers County, but it's not a city?
No.
Okay, so it's strictly a city government has to approve a MUD district that adjoins them.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, we're doing these shows strictly to keep you informed and keep it as transparent as possible. And like I said, I have people almost on a daily basis that stop me and ask me about the fishing pier or the water department or the ferry or something. And so when I called Brad a week or so ago and I said, Brad, can you come in? I've got a couple things I want to talk to you about. Man, he dropped what he was doing and came in that day. And we talked about doing these shows to keep you informed on what's going on. And he may come to me in 2 weeks and say, man, David, I really think we need to do a show about this. Or it may be a month after the next board meeting. But we're going to keep you informed on what's going on. And we're implementing our new Bolivar Live alert will go out when the new website launches, which we'll be able to get you out if there's a boil water notice or anything. We're going to be able to put that out through emails. I think we're going to kick it off in March. Is there anything else on the MUD district? The biggest thing is I want people to know that they're researching it. And I've talked to several board members. Y'all aren't taking this lightly.
Oh no, not at all. It is serious because it affects everybody here.
And the people that can vote, we read this earlier, if you have voting rights here and a property owner, then you can vote. And the reason I'm saying that is, one, for the board, once they get going and positions come available, but also, they don't have to get public approval for the MUD district, but if y'all want to do any bonds, say we're going to have to enlarge the line from 20-inch to 30-inch because we've just blown up down here, or there's something that a major improvement that needs to be done. Bonds do have to be voted on. And so those will go to public vote. And you want to keep up with that bond and make sure that it's not changed before it goes to vote, because from my understanding, I think they have a certain amount of time they can make changes to it before it goes to vote. But my biggest fear was, and I think if it's managed right, I think it'll be good for us. Who knows down here? Sometime we may get sewer service included or something like that. The board, once it's appointed, and I think you might have answered this, and if you don't know, that's okay. Will the board members on the MUD be paid?
No idea.
That's all having to be set up and stuff.
That is way down the road.
Okay.
Right now.
What steps are y'all taking actually in your research? We hadn't talked about that any.
They are looking to see what is involved with creating a MUD. What all has to be done.
And you have a committee for this.
I have a committee of 3 that's actually doing all this. And every month they'll bring us what information they have gathered and found to be factual.
Right.
Not he said, she said.
Right. Who's on that committee?
That's Carrie Acock, DeSantis and
Chris Houston.
Chris Houston.
Right. I knew he was.
Those three right now. Kerry is our money guy. He's the treasurer, and he is the numbers guy.
Let's talk about that real quick because, you know, you made a comment to me when we were meeting the other week. Man, we've got a new gentleman on the board that is a true money man.
Yes, sir.
A numbers cruncher.
Yes, sir.
And you said, David, he is tracking every penny on where it goes. Now, is he also looking at ways that, hey, maybe we don't need to do this? Maybe we can do this?
Yep.
Okay.
He's looking at lots of different things, and he's helping this committee with the M.U.D and the possibilities that it could bring, the pros and cons. There's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
The example that he put up there for us at the last time, and we had, I don't know, 20, 25 people at the
When
meeting.
are your meeting, your board members?
Second Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock.
And the public is invited. Now, it starts at 6 o'clock, and they'll go through their opening and some of their stuff. They do have a public comment that you can sign up for that I think you get 3 minutes or something.
3 minutes, and we can't answer questions or
it's just a comment
or banter back and forth and that. But yes, 3 minutes, and they can comment or question anything.
And then a lot of times they go into executive session where the public has to leave. They can talk behind the scenes, and then they open back up to the rest of the meeting and then the adjournment and stuff. And y'all put your minutes up and all the notes and everything on their website and stuff. So is there anything else? I guess what I wanted to get across was I think it's good for the community, for the peninsula, as long as it's managed right. And you brought it up, you know, this money, these taxes are for the water department, for pipe, for valves, for maintenance, for pumps, for generators, for new tanks, the infrastructure of the water department, not for, and the water department's not doing this for, to build a green belt, like you said, or a park or anything like that.
Right.
So
it is strictly for the infrastructure.
Let's talk about one. Y'all got some free money.
We did, and we don't have it yet.
Not yet, but I know I had lunch with some of the one of the commissioners and some people the other day, and when I say free money, it's not costing anyone here anything, and that is I believe it's a 20-inch line.
One of the 20-inch main
20-inch main line that during Ike, it ran beside the bridge or was damaged, and it's been beside the bridge, and TCEQ said, hey, that's got to be underground.
We got to bury it.
So this has been in the works for a while.
Couple years.
Yeah.
It's how long it takes.
But they were able to get a check, and I think this was actually some FEMA money, wasn't it? Or do you know what it came through?
There was some FEMA money, but this was, it's a grant money.
Grant, okay. And so someone wrote a grant about 2 years ago or so on it. Yeah.
That came to the state to be distributed for these kinds of things.
And so not only is the pier going in there, which this is actually perfect timing because the pier's going in on the south side of 87, and we're fixing to do, once we get through all the weather, going to do another show on it. And then we also have the new park, and that's what, when I had lunch with them the other day, William was there and a couple other, the commissioner was there, Doogie. They were talking about the park on the north side, that it was staked off. Right. And so that's right in that area.
It sure is.
And so that'll be good. That whole area will be dressed up here in the next year or so. I know the pier's set to open towards the end of this year, and I would imagine the park on the north side is going to be open by then too, since they've already got the stakes out and they're not having to build a 300 foot or whatever it is fishing pier out. But I tell you what, it's going along great. The contractor's doing great work there, And so, and actually, from what my understanding, they're going to take the sand in the coffer dams and use
Oh,
some of it or all of
Yeah.
it across the street to help build that up a little bit, because
oh,
during Burl,
interesting.
they
Yeah.
actually lost some ground over there. So, is
Huh.
there anything else that you want to talk about? Y'all, the water
Uh,
department just put a new pump in.
Yes, and I actually just learned this. I just figured there was one big pump everywhere in these
Right.
things. Every plant, there's 5 plants.
Right,
Highland North, Highland South, Singing Sands, Crystal Beach, and Boyd Road.
right.
There are 3 pumps, 3 motors, and a jack pump in every one of those
Every one of those.
plants. Yeah, and one of them's operating on 2 of the pumps and 1 motor and all kind of stuff.
Okay.
And these things are, you know, $30, $40, $50,000 a piece. And then you got to wait 3 months, 6 months to get one in and have it installed. So we're going through that right now. And everything is going to be new, shiny. I mean, we put Band-Aids on them as far as they can go.
They're Band-Aided up.
And they've just run their course.
Yeah.
So that's good. We have right at 6.25 million gallons storage capacity
Okay.
here on the peninsula.
And
So-
just so everyone knows, when storms come, you actually fill the tanks up,
They're-
so they're weighted so that
Yes.
they can hold their own.
They will be full.
And on a side note, when Ike hit, they were building the tank
Yeah.
at Boyd Road. In fact,
Yeah.
it was the base was there, the tank
Yeah.
was on the ground. They hadn't raised it up yet, and it
Mhm.
dented part of it.
I remember that.
And they had to cut that dent out after Ike.
Yeah.
But following that, once they got it fixed and I believe primered, I was actually staying at Bolivar Yacht Basin
Oh, okay.
towards the
Yeah.
end of the RV park there, and we watched them one night.
Oh.
Had the grill fired up. Pat Downing was down, and we watched them raise that
Oh,
thing
wow.
up throughout the day,
Yeah.
and it takes a while.
Yes, sir.
But the funny thing was, when it got to the top, you could tell it was cocked a little bit.
Oh, no.
You know, and I said, man, I hope they're going to straighten that out. That looks like heck. And you could hear people up there banging and stuff. And all of a sudden, it was a big, like a gong
Yeah.
going off. And I guess that thing had popped over the lip it was caught
Oh.
on. And it was straight, and the rest
And it
is
fit
history.
perfectly.
And then
Interesting.
y'all just recently, and I say recently, in the last couple years, I guess, built the tank at the water department
At Crystal
there.
Beach Road.
And
Yes,
that was
sir.
done on a grant or something
That
too,
was
wasn't it?
Grant. That was
I know Joe Ball was instrumental in
yeah.
getting that.
That was some GLO money and something else, maybe Corps of Engineers. I don't remember who, but yeah, that did not cost residents a
anything.
penny. No.
And the only ground tank you have on Bolivar down here is the one that's Singing Sands.
It's Singing Sands. And there is a small one behind Boyd Road,
oh, is there? Okay.
behind the tower. There is a
small one there?
small ground tank
Okay.
there.
Okay. And then the two that you have a water tower in High Island,
Yes,
and then you have a ground tank in
Correct.
High Island. Okay. Okay.
correct. And those are, I wrote it down. One is the North, Highland North. That's the ground tank. It's a 500,000 gallon
Gallon tank.
tank. And the elevated one, which is the south, is 250,000 gallons.
So it's smaller.
It's smaller.
Yeah.
Singing Sands,
Mhm.
the ground tank at Singing Sands, that's a 2 million gallon tank.
And how big is Boyd Road?
Boyd Road is 1.5 million,
And the new one at the water department?
is 1
1
million.
Okay, okay. So we've got a lot of water down here, and I know during Harvey, the pumps went out because they were submerged
Yeah.
that we get our water from, and everyone was wigging out that we were going to run out of water. And Joe Ball came to me and said, David, we need to do a show. We're not going to run out of water.
will not
We've
run
got
out of
it
water.
handled. We just need to quit watering the yard and washing the cars for a week.
A little bit.
He said, I've
Feel
got
that.
it handled though. And
Yes.
so that's the way the water department is. They live down here. And so this is their community. They really take pride in everything. I love talking to the girls, reading the meters and watching them
yeah.
out working. and stuff. And so we're going to bring you this show and keep you informed on what's going on with the new M.U.D district, where they stand on it. We'll let you know when the public hearing. And if you have any questions, get hold of me, and I'll jot them down and get you an answer on it.
Yes,
That's not
absolutely.
a problem.
Absolutely.
Brad and I have been talking at least once a week on some things, and so I see that to continue. And then we'll be back in about 30 days unless something comes up. We need to get out sooner and talk about the last board meeting and some new information on the M.U.D district.
Correct.
So, Brad, thanks for joining us. We're going to head on out. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.
Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.